I think engagement in general is just like at an all-time low with every social media platform. And I think it's because we're just being pumped.
Yes.
Like the doom scroll effect is dangerous.
It's crazy, man.
And we're just absorbing way more information than we should be on a daily basis.
I completely agree.
Like, success is measured like through failure. I tell myself that all the time. Like, you need to fail to like grow.
Right.
People are afraid to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, for sure. They want everything, like the first thing they put out to be perfect, and it never is.
It never is.
APTHCRY on the wave. Shoes off, pause, yeah, let's get it. Shoes off, but the vibe stay loud. APTHCRY heat, yeah, I'm flexing in the crowd. Socks on the scene, that's a subtle little flex.
Welcome to the Shoes Off Podcast, brought to you by APTHCRY. We've got today Luis ImIllVibe.
Yes.
Which is I'm so happy to have you here, man.
Happy to be here, man. Thank you for having me and asking me to be on the pod, man. It's really interesting to just see the avenues that you've been taking with all your content, and it's just very much a motivation to even be in this space with you, bro. So thank you.
I appreciate it, man.
Well,
dude, you're killing it. You're killing it on social media. You've got your own podcast, Niche Talk, The Niche Talk.
Yeah.
You've got your own social media following. You're doing big things. You're working at a really dope new spot. Tell me about what you're doing currently.
So right now, I'm a soon-to-be dad. I think that's the most current thing that I can throw out there. Girl dad vibes.
Let's go.
On top of that, I'm working at a Filipino restaurant cafe called Baby's Cucina.
That's awesome.
Out in Brewery Town. I am their creative director / front of house lead. So I get to like touch tables, like interact with customers, and just really create an experience that people might not really be aware of, because like, I'm sure, as you know, Filipino culture has been trending a lot.
Definitely.
Like in the last couple of years. And I've been with the team at Baby's Cucinas for about 8 years at this point.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's really beautiful to see how much we've been able to flourish in the city. And I've just been the one to really push their narrative and like really showcase who they are to the city of Philadelphia. And the response has been insane, man.
That's
so if you're looking for the best matcha in the city, I'm not being biased. Just pull up to Baby's.
Dude, it's crazy. I just got it last Friday. It was amazing.
I'm really glad you like it,
good.
man. Thank you for coming through with the team. Man. And you guys are always welcome.
Oh,
for
you.
sure.
I appreciate
besides that, just trying to navigate myself in this new realm of content, fashion, and just having fun. I was talking to somebody recently about how I really am enjoying the decline in my follower count.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I really am. It's just giving me a lot of relief.
Yes.
And the opportunity to just go back to the days where Instagram was posting a weird photo that you liked.
Yeah.
And with a grainy filter, like to the point where like the doom scrolling wasn't a thing. Like people were like really absorbing anything that you shared because it was you at your core. Right. So I'm very much enjoying this new realm I'm tackling with social media. That's awesome. And still being able to get gigs and campaigns.
Totally.
So just being authentic instead of like trying to land people with a hook and like keep people into a video. Like if you don't like it, you don't like it kind of situation. You are not for me in that sense. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I've just been juggling all of that while just still trying to make sure I'm good, personally.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
that's really healthy, I think, too.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, your social media page is awesome. You're popping, and your posts are amazing. You're talking about taking less time on the post, but I'm looking at these sneaker pictures or your just pictures in general, and I'm like, wow, these are fire.
Appreciate that,
sick,
bro.
man.
Yeah, like that's kind of like where it all started for me.
Okay.
With content. When I picked up a camera in college, it was a Nikon D3000.
Let's go.
And my main subject was my sneaker collection. Like that's literally what I was shooting. And any one of us that picks up a camera, we have that lull of self-confidence until the people in your corner are like, yo, you need to pursue this. Like,
totally.
This is what you need to do. So shout out to the homies in college because they would take me on like random adventures. I'd bring my camera and we would start shooting and creating this like roadmap for myself that I didn't even know I was doing at the time. So now looking back, I've been in the content space for well over 10 years. And it's been beautiful to see where we are now versus where we were back then. But at the same time, everything has its ups and downs.
Totally.
But sneakers have remained the same for me. Like my love, like anytime I feel like I need to like circle back, I just grab a shoe out the collection, just start shooting it. And
that's dope.
It just brings me back to my good old days and like the reason I'm doing everything, you know,
Right.
so like for the love, for the passion. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like it's something that's lost on a lot of younger generations today. We were talking before the podcast about how the younger generation doesn't seem to care as much about the stories behind sneakers, but I think that's true for just social media in general. They don't, a lot of times, and I mean, this is not true for everybody, but a lot of people don't get into it for the right reasons. And it's really refreshing to hear you getting into it for the love of it. And I think that's one of the only ways to be sustainable with it. You know what I mean?
I agree. It's tricky waters with the newer generation, and it's hard to even like kind of understand where they're going.
Right.
Because now what I see with the younger generation is they want so many eggs in so many baskets. And it's like, if one sticks, cool. But like, I've always been the person that if you spread yourself too thin, you can never be 100% at any of them. Like it's honestly impossible to be 100% when you're spread so thin.
Absolutely.
And that's another reason why I just like took a backseat to like posting so much and really not trying to force myself to do like a hard 75 or like any of those challenges that would like make you post every day, because I tried it once and I got to like day 14 and it's just like, what? Like you just become this autonomous robot of like exhaustion because you're like, shoot, edit, post, and then you try to get ahead and you'll shoot 2 pieces of content, 3 pieces of content. You're like, all right, cool. I'm 3 days ahead. So like I can just coast for a little bit. And no, you can't coast because you just have to keep going. And it's just like you start moving for the wrong reasons, as you said before. And it's just, I just told myself, you know what? I don't need 100,000 followers. I don't need that milestone of like what all these people are chasing.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. You get a lot more opportunities when you get that 100K mark. I've seen it and I've witnessed it, and it's great. And I'm proud of all of my homies and everyone out there that has reached that milestone. But I just come to the realization I don't need it. Like, I'm okay in my 40K. Like 40K is insane.
Huge. Yeah, that's huge.
It's insane. And I always see this post, like that one post. It's like, can you actually picture what like 100 people in a room liking what you're doing is? And it's just like, imagine 40,000 people.
That's a stadium.
Exactly.
That's literally
a
stadium. A big stadium, too.
So it's just like, I've just been humbling myself and appreciating everything that comes my way. So that's that in that regard.
That's awesome, man. That's such a good mindset. I wish more people had that mindset, man. Like it really, and what you create really is genuine because you're doing it for the love of it, and you really you're really seeing it from the bigger picture, which I really appreciate. It's not like you're not on that sort of daily. I mean, you might be, and like we sort of just mentioned, you sort of were for a point, but like that daily grind, like you really, even if you love it, you start to lose the passion for it.
Yeah, and I saw that a lot. Like losing the passion and just like all right, what's the next thing I can do? Like, instead of just living in the moment, you're always thinking about what's next and like trying to be the trendsetter and not like creating and not just being in the trend. So it just gets very exhausting. And I'm about to be 33. I have no business.
Oh, no way. I'm 33 too. You're 92?
Yeah, 92 babies. That's love. That's why we have that good mindset.
Exactly.
Like we were saying this earlier, I feel as though we are like the last good generation, not just in the sneaker culture, but I feel like in a lot of things like fashion, tech, everything. Like we were the ones that came up with like, we just grew with like the Nintendo 64, the best, PlayStation, man. All of that stuff, the pivot, because like the generation before us, they really didn't have much but like the beeper and like the brick Nokia.
Agreed. So, I know, man. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, so now we were able to grow up with a lot, and like I feel like our span of knowledge with everything that came with the world in terms of like fashion, tech, even like just understand like everything here you have on this podcast right now, you kind of grew up with. Totally. Yeah, so it's I think we're the last like really good generation for a while, and I'm really hoping that like
that our kids,
yes, exactly, like it's just like the spin back. They're gonna pick up on our like growth habits and understand. All right, cool. I need to move this way and not that way. Yep. So hopefully, congrats on your baby girl as well, man. I appreciate
it,
for sure. Girl dads out here.
It's the best, man. I literally, it's literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's amazing.
Love that, man. Bro.
Dude, so tell me about. So you're a creative. Tell me how you got to this point where you're at now. Like, what was the journey like?
Okay, so. Like I said before, I started in college just with a camera. And
were you always creative, like coming up, like in high school, middle school, things like
that? Yeah,
so
I was, if you think about it, like one side of the brain is like everyone that loves sports and stuff like that. I am the other side. Like sports were never my thing as a kid. Like it never translated well when my mom would put me in a sport. I just really wasn't about it at all. So I was always into cartoons, anime, drawing my favorite cartoons.
That's
and
awesome.
When I moved here to Philly, 8th grade, I went into an architecture and design high school.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it was shout out to my mom for tapping into like my creativity and seeing that like I was into that, so she
Right.
put me in a realm that like would push me that way. And then from there I went to college very undecided about what I wanted to do with my life. I changed my major like 5 times and ended up with graphic design as my main major and
incredible.
photography as a minor. So that's kind of like where it all culminated. But creatively, I was creative my whole life. I was in plays. I was like designing sets
That's
for those
awesome.
plays, even as a
So
kid.
great, yeah.
So it was really fun to see, like to even look back on just how far I've gone with creativity and how far it actually dials back. But in college, like I said before, my friends at the time were like, look, like this is something you should really like dive into, because I didn't even know what I wanted to do after college. And I honestly didn't even want to go. Like that was something that was like forced upon me. Like it was like, you need to go to college. And I was like, okay, I'll go. And now here we are in massive debt. And I don't even use my major.
The amount of people that I've talked to who don't use their major, it's huge,
Yeah,
man. Like I don't
it's-
even really use my major technically. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't use it because I tried to go full-time graphic designer, and it's just like a corporate game that is just like exhausting in my opinion. And I love the people that are able to be a graphic designer and not work for a corporate agency, like,
Right.
and just do their own thing.
Totally.
I couldn't do it anymore, but I'm able to translate that knowledge to what I do with content, like with overlays and any kind of like video editing that I do now.
Right.
I definitely always dial back into like what I learned from graphic design and what I still try to pick up on. But it all started with shoes. It all started with sneakers. Like I want to say like one of my first big pushes was Rejuvenator.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Rejuvenator back in the day, me and Jerome, aka 215 Shooter, him and I, we came up in this photography space together, and that all started because to make some side money in college, I was customizing Jordan 1s.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was painting Jordan 1s. I took the laser Jordan 1s and I was painting
The white
them.
ones with
Yeah,
the blue-
yeah.
yep,
I was
yep,
painting them as breads, royals, and
Oh,
shadows.
that's so great. That's
Yeah.
literally, we were doing the same thing at the same time, man. It's listening to your story. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can talk about me, bro. This is
Yeah,
so great.
literally. So
This is
Jerome
awesome.
and I was on Facebook Marketplace on buy, sell, fresh kicks.
Bro, that's right,
Like
bro.
literally pushing
That's
the
so great.
narrative.
So were you always ImIllVibe, or what was your
No,
your
no.
name?
I was
Were you just your name?
it was just my name on Facebook,
Okay.
and then like when I translated to Instagram, it was ill_vibe.
That's so. I've
Yeah.
definitely seen your post
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Then. That's so. I didn't even realize.
It was crazy because that's when
crazy, bro.
Boost was huge,
Yeah.
right? Like back then, and like Boost Vibes,
Right.
Like all those pages that were like just pushing content. Like
Right.
I was heavy into it, and
Yo, shout out to Phil from Buy Sell Fresh Cakes Philly.
Yeah,
Now Common
shout out to
Ground.
Phil.
If you ever want to be on the podcast, Phil, come on through.
Phil on the pod would be
That would
tough,
be
man.
sick.
He has
That'd be
a
sick.
lot of knowledge of the sneaker game, bro, and just like the turnover in Philly.
Totally.
But yeah, me and Jerome, we were like hand in hand growing up with this like content game, and thank God I met him, and thank God we like were able to connect and become brothers, because like him and I were like always pushing each other. And the one thing that brands really like to see were like two people that were like had this synergy, and like we were able to like really create stuff. So
Totally.
I remember Rejuvenator had like contacted both of us to just like help shoot a campaign.
That's awesome.
And from there, it just like kept picking up, and like me and him were just like, yo, here's a gig, like, yo, let's go do this, let's go do that. And then we started to build this like community here in Philly of just like friends that were also photographers, and like everybody that was just hungry.
Right.
Because the one thing we realized in that photography space, that everybody was very cliquish.
Yeah.
And very like, what's the word I'm looking for? They wanted to gatekeep.
Yes.
Gatekeeping was crazy
Totally.
back in the day. And
Totally. Probably still is a little bit. At
yeah.
least. Yeah.
So then we started to try and do like a Philly meet. So we called it Philly meet, and it was
cool.
just like a photo walk where you didn't even have to be a photographer. Like we invited models, people that just wanted to network, right? And our first one, we had like over 300 people show up.
Wild.
Yeah, it was me, Jerome, our friend Bruce, Stan, and Steph, all Philly local creatives, and we brought together so many people. People came from out of state.
That's awesome.
And we had it running for like 3 years, and as all good things have to come to an end,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it was an amazing experience, and that in itself brought so many people in Philly together that
Right.
didn't even know each other, right?
Right.
So from there, I'd say once I got like my feet wet with photography, like I really wanted to start and solidify like a full-time job, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was working dead-end jobs after college. I was working like 4 jobs at
Really?
the same time.
That's brutal.
Yeah, I was working an overnight job. Then I got a internship at Boyd's
Okay.
suit store.
Oh my
as
gosh,
like
yeah.
graphic designer and photography. And then I would go work at Staples, and then I would go work
Nice.
at Kicks USA.
Oh my gosh.
And then that was like a cycle of death for 2 years, but just like, and then photography on top of that, any side
Right.
gigs that I could get. And then thankfully I was able to get a job at DTLR
That's dope.
as their photographer.
That's dope.
So
That's huge.
yeah, it was a beautiful, I was there for at least 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
And then after that is when I decided to just go like full time.
That's awesome.
And bet on myself, because while I was working at DTLR, I was also working on my social presence,
Mm-hmm.
and that was growing at a rapid rate at the time. So I was getting all these campaigns. I was working with people like Foot Locker. I was working with eBay. I was working with PacSun, a bunch of different fashion brands, and just
That's awesome.
you know, rinse and repeat the name of the game. Just like being able to promote and being able to create a persona outside of like who I am individually, right? And being able to showcase what I was able to showcase. And like one thing I really enjoyed was putting on small brands, right? Like I never wanted to be that person that was like in it for the money.
Right.
I was like, I would always call myself like the barter king. Like
That's
if there's something that I can provide to you and then we can just exchange, cool. Here we are. We're both happy, and like cost is very minimal.
Right, right.
Cost is very minimal. That was like my main thing. And
That's
like,
so awesome.
yeah, I was
That's so great.
always blessed to be that kind of person. And I always take it back to when I worked at Foot Locker as like just wearing the stripes. Like their one line was like, always leave a long lasting impression with every customer.
That's all. That's actually a really good line.
And
yeah.
like even to
Yeah.
this day, I replay that, because like every time I come into contact with somebody, like if I can leave a long lasting impression with them and just give them my 100%, they're gonna come back. They're gonna
Yeah.
be a reoccurring client, and they're gonna just enjoy what we did together.
Right.
So yeah.
That's awesome. That's such a good mindset, man. That's
Thanks.
such a good mindset. And you know, it's interesting. We talked about too, like the younger generation. They don't always have that. Like it's rarer in that generation. And not
Yeah.
to be hating on the younger generation, but genuinely, like I've noticed that just out and about. Like they just don't have that same sort of. Not some of them do, but like across the board.
Some of them
do.
definitely do.
Yeah.
We're not gonna just call all of you out. There are some people out there that I do have hope for, and
Yes.
I see you.
Yes.
We see you. Okay.
Totally.
We have faith in you, but we need you guys to get the other ones and like bring them up with you, because even on my way here, like I see some of the younger generation like waiting for the school bus and waiting to like get to school, and they're just acting a fool. Like, and I know I'm not a perfect child at all back then, but like the things I see kids doing these days is like, where are we headed as humanity?
Bro,
just a little bit. And that was the one thing I was afraid of with bringing a girl into this world. Like, like with my daughter, I'm just like, I can do only so much, but once she leaves the house, I can't control who she's influenced by. I can't control who she's gonna gravitate towards, and all I can do is like create a healthy environment at home, to where like she will communicate and talk to me about what is going on in the outside world that I'm not aware to.
That makes sense. That's awesome. That's a good mindset, man.
Yeah, I'm very, very hyper focused on who she's going to be influenced by and just what I can do to kind of navigate those waters, because I know it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I can only imagine. That mindset, again, like I keep going back to your mindset. Your mindset, and it's seemingly everything that we've talked about is so good and so refreshing, and it's so great to hear what you have to say about it. And that's why I'm really glad you're here, man. Because like, I'm learning so much about you, and I'm really agreeing with a lot of what you got to say, man.
Yeah, I feel like coming to the understanding that we're both 92 babies. I think we're very much aligned. And man, I've been tuned into your content for so long,
thanks, man.
and being able to be part of like the APTHCRY team. Shout out to Adrian.
Yes, sir.
Like,
shout out to Adrian. Adrian, come on the podcast.
Literally, he is the reason our entire group chat wears APTHCRY.
That's so
like,
sick, man.
because before it was Nike socks and like odd off socks, and he would be like, "Yo, throw them shits in the trash." He's like, come, let's
so
do
great.
a shoot. He's like, I need foot models, like, and then like I can literally send a picture of my whole drawer. It's literally stacked with every campaign
go.
I've ever shot for you guys.
Let's
so
go.
APTHCRY, not even a biased thing. It's just hella comfortable socks,
appreciate
man.
it.
Like the ones I'm
appreciate
seeing
it.
right there on the table
Oh,
right now,
yeah.
that looks insane.
I'll give those to you after
And
this.
I already know. No, don't. Justine, I know, just sold out. I know you've
Oh, yeah,
seen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's a golf.
Yes.
That is all her. But that looks sick because I seen. Was your inspiration somebody's artwork? I feel like it was like a huge campaign where like.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, what was your inspiration like behind that campaign?
Well, to give you some behind the scenes on stuff. So this one, I actually wasn't involved in the actual design. That was Osman and our graphic designer Melanie. Shout out to Melanie, by the way, and Osman. But I was just like, listen, I've been golfing a lot. Like, can we make a golf collection? And so I drew up some sketches. But then I came to the office and they had already done this whole like beautiful like just concepts on and like I can show you later on the wall, but like concepts and stuff. And so I mean it was already just so I'm not actually sure what the
inspiration behind it. All
behind
right,
that
that's all
one is,
good.
but
Yeah, but
it came out
that's a
good.
winner. That's a winner. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
good
it.
job
Appreciate
on
it.
that for sure.
Thank you.
Speaking of APTHCRY, we definitely have to double back on doing a collab with babies.
Agreed.
Yeah, we spoke on it
So down
briefly
for that.
before, and things happen, and that's okay. But that's something because you said Melanie, right?
Yep.
That was her name.
Yep.
I think it was either her or Osman that came up with this concept for an apron, and I was like,
That's sick.
that is something that we need because one thing I'm trying to do with babies is really create a merch line.
That's awesome.
Because us being
That's
an all-day
awesome.
cafe, we need merch. We
Yeah.
need something in-house.
Totally.
And who better to work with than somebody local?
That'd be great, man.
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
Definitely. I'd love to. I wasn't too familiar with like the whole situation in terms of like what everything design-wise looked like. And then another thing where I came to the office, bro, let me tell you. So APTHCRY is not my full time, but I'm a co-founder of it.
Yeah.
So I'll come into the office like 2 or 3 times a week. And the amount of new stuff that I see, I'm like, this is crazy. So it's literally like coming in and seeing all this crazy new stuff. It's like I get to wear that, I get to wear that, I get to wear that. So it's really fun for me to be a part of it, a big part of it, like in terms of social side and like helping with all the higher end, not the business side of stuff, but then coming in and seeing all the design work. I'm like, this is just, bro, this is why we need.
So it's like Christmas for you every
exactly.
time you come in here.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
That's dope. I love
bro,
that,
it's
bro.
sick, man. Yeah. So.
Good job on like I'm seeing this jersey. I don't think
bro.
did you ever drop that?
So we did we had a summer league basketball team back in 2022. Josh is actually one of the guys who started that league or started that team, and so we just came up with jerseys for that really quick. And they're sublimated, so they're not the best, but it's because we wanted to do like really nice, like almost Mitchell and Ness style, like fully sewn.
Yeah,
but we didn't have enough time. But I'd love to drop something like that.
I think you should, especially for the summertime.
Totally.
Like jerseys are back.
Totally.
And everyone, it's like I've come to realize that every brand out there, whether it's fashion, sneaker related, they are literally gearing all of their merch to our demographic.
Yes.
They're trying to lock in the 30s because of like everyone's doing something nostalgic. Everyone's going back to nostalgia, and it's so on point with what we all resonate with, and they know that. So now they're just trying to make sure they keep us because they're realizing that the younger generation isn't really trying to spend as much money as like what things are worth nowadays.
Right, totally.
Because even us, $225 for a retro right now is
It's nuts,
insane.
dude. It's nuts.
But they know we're gonna buy it
Yeah.
if it's the right shoe.
Exactly. Like those white cements, man.
White cement 4s doubled up. The black cement 3s doubled up.
You got to. Both
Had
of those.
to. You had to.
Agree.
And I love the fact that people are still doing the rock one, stock one. Like that's literally the essence of a sneakerhead coming up. Like you had to get 2 pairs of your favorite. Because one just had to stay on ice because you know you were gonna beat one.
Exactly.
Like me personally, I have 6 pairs of black cement 3s.
Really? That's all from all different years? Like you got the 2018s and then before that? Okay, cool.
The
That's
countdown
awesome.
pack, the 2001 pair. And then I copped 2 of the 20. It was 2025. Yeah. I got all of my friends are like, bro, do you really need that many pairs? I'm like, look, first of all, like 2 or 3 of them aren't even wearable anymore.
Right.
Like they're cooked, and it's literally the greatest shoe of all time.
I completely agree.
Yeah, the Black Cement 3 is literally by far one of the best shoes ever to be dropped. It works. I was gonna wear them today. No, I got I got the size DNs. Yeah. Unfortunately, these are a half size too big because I wasn't paying attention. They are a UK brand. Yeah. And I was going for a 9.5, but it was a 9.5 UK. So
you got the wrong size from size, bro.
Yeah. So stuff a little thicker insole, and
Let's go.
it does what it has to do. You know, they're comfy, and I love the colorway on these.
I do too.
Yeah, very different.
I'll be honest with you. I was never a huge fan of the DNs, but that colorway.
Yeah, that's what caught me. These are the only DNs I have, and I was just like, okay, you're doing something now. You're doing something different.
Yes.
And you caught my eye.
Yep.
You got me.
Because those Supremes, like, they just weren't. I wasn't a huge fan of the Supremes, but I wanted to get them because I thought that maybe the video would do well. I couldn't get them, but those are clean. I really, yeah. Show the squad. Those look crazy, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like the mauve, the purple, and just like the off-white all throughout. Like, I like the fact that they kept the bubbles like muted and not like a crazy see-through. But great shoe overall, very comfortable too. Because I remember I went to Foot Locker to try them on when the DN8s first came out.
Right.
And wait, these are not the DN8s. They're just the DNs.
I think the
DN8s are the newer ones.
Like even more bubbles.
Yep, even more bubbles. But yeah, I tried these on when I went to Foot Locker for a campaign, and I was like, all right. At least I know my size,
right?
And I know that the comfort is there. Now I just needed the proper colorway. And once I saw size come out with this, I was like, okay, you got me. You got my money.
I've never seen those. Those are so sick.
Yeah, and they're sitting for a low price on Go. Yeah, like so. I'll see you. I'll see your next pickup shortly.
Yeah, right.
What's something you've been looking at lately, shoe wise?
Lately, I've been really. There's these New Balances, the New Balance 2000s coming out like next week. I'm really trying to get a pair of those early to do a review, and also just because I like them. Have you seen them? They kind of look like they've got like a bunch of. I don't know if it's air bubbles or gel or what it is, but they've got these little pods on the bottom.
Oh yeah, it's like. Are you talking about the blue pair?
The blue pair.
Yeah.
Exactly,
I've seen that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those
I saw that
wild.
one. It's a clean pair. It gives me like Sakai vibes,
Totally.
but with a New Balance.
Yep.
I literally this morning just hit on the new Kith A6 like summer drop. Yeah,
this morning, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, the draw was a couple days ago, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try for one, see if I get it. And it's like that. I'm at that point now where like, all right, maybe I should just start being a little bit more conscious of my spending because I have a child coming. And then like, all right, I was like, okay, the draw ends today. I was like, maybe I'll be okay. Maybe I won't hit. Like this is something I don't need.
Yeah.
Notification from the bank comes right. $130 out your account. I was like, okay, guess I got a new pair of shoes. And here I am. But ever since I moved into my spot now, like my office is about like 3 times the size of my previous office.
That's awesome.
I just have a lot more space to play with. And I bought a bunch of more clear containers. Right.
Yep.
So now I was like, okay, now I have empty containers. What am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
Now I need to buy shoes. So now I had to stock up on those. And now I'm starting to fill in all the blanks, thankfully. And now I'm just going to like slow down just a little bit. I say that, but then here comes the shattered backboards, the rare Air 4s. How do you feel about those? Wait, you reviewed those.
I reviewed those, yeah.
How do you feel
like
about them?
They're actually really nice. It's one of those shoes, though, that I don't feel like, because I'm at the point now where I literally have tried to get to a point where all my clear cases are full and that's it. Yeah. And then I'll start to like, if I want to get a new shoe, I have to get rid of something in there. So like I'm right at the edge where it's like the pairs that are not in the clear cases are like samples or something that's like a special collector's thing. So like I'm at a point now where in order for me to switch out a shoe, it really has to be something crazy.
Yeah.
And I love the 4s.
Yeah, because I'm sure your collection is already like, you're not a quantity guy. You're a quality guy.
It's just too much. Yeah. Like the room that I keep my sneaker collection is a small bedroom in the bottom of my house that I used to film videos out of. Yeah. And it's just like I just don't have the space for it.
Yeah, I'm getting there slowly but surely. Because like when you get a bigger space, you just get more
you fill it out. Yep.
Yeah, you fill it out.
Totally.
And I already feel like it's getting tight in there, and I'm not the type to get rid of my shoe boxes.
Yep.
Are you still that way?
Yeah, I'm still that way.
See, look.
Which is even more space you got.
Even more space, because like I have a storage, like under the staircase kind of storage.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, I can just put all my shoe boxes in there.
Right.
Not really the case.
Yeah.
Because I have to be conscientious of it's not just my house.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
I have to share space, and it just has to make sense with your significant other.
Totally.
And now a baby on the way.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, yeah, but once those clear cases are full, I need to do the same methodology of just like, get rid of something. There are some shoes that I can definitely get rid of.
Right.
That just like have just been taking up shelf space.
Yep.
For sure.
Do you have pairs that you don't wear? Like, do you have any pairs that you're like getting to wear? That aren't like double ups.
Okay, so I have a couple pairs that I haven't worn yet. I still have a brand new pair of Shadow ones from 2017.
That's a good pair.
Yeah,
That's a good pair.
yeah. I dogged my. I had 3 pairs total, and
They're so easy to wear.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
And then like I sold the 2 used pairs because I just demolished them.
Right.
And I saw the 3rd pair, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just let these chill. I'm gonna let these collect a little bit of fairy dust.
Yep.
And I'll get to them when I get to them. Another pair I have that I haven't worn yet would be the Nigel Sylvester
the
fours.
Yeah,
the driveway gray.
Oh, those are dope
Yeah.
too. I really like those a lot.
Yeah, so I was able to go to that that event that he had in Philly,
Really?
and I got a pair signed from him, thankfully.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a really dope opportunity. Shout out to Foot Locker. I was able to promote the RM with that.
Sick.
Yeah, Foot Locker's been holding me down, and
Let's go. Shout out to
like
Foot Locker.
it's such a full circle moment because like when I was like wearing the stripes, like I always wanted to like create with Foot Locker. So every time I do a campaign with them, it's just really a humbling experience, like internally.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I also have the Brick by Bricks. I haven't worn those yet, and it's such a lazy reason why. It's just like the time it's gonna take to relace for the sale laces. Like fours are a different beast when you have to relace them because it's just like it's just too much. That there's like 17 lace holes for no reason.
I know.
But it's such a good shoe. It's such a good shoe to look at.
So for me, my favorite shoe of all time is the Bread ones, and I want those to be my sneaker of the year. But then the Nigels came out, and at first I didn't like them.
Yeah.
And then I saw Kais, a friend of mine, was relaced them, and I'm like, that's how you make them look crazy.
Yeah.
And then I started wearing them, like, oof, this is tough. So for me, it's gonna be a tough battle. I know a sneaker of the year isn't that important, but in my head, I put too much thought into it.
No, it is. It's important for us.
It is.
It's important for us.
Exactly.
I'm gonna apologize in advance, but I feel like they did those bread ones like terribly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? What about it? You not like?
I think there's just this one photo that is stuck in my mind.
Okay.
It's like a shot of the back of the shoe, and it literally looks like
It kind of bends out.
Yeah, it bends out, but it looked like someone with the worst cankles was the foot model for that shoe. And I was just like, I shared it on Threads, and I was like, this is what you guys want? Like, this is what you guys are asking for as a sneaker community? I was like, no, these can stay in the vault for all I care.
Bro.
I do love the reimagined series that they've
Yes,
done with the ones.
I do too.
And I feel like if they would have took that route with the breads, I would have liked them a little bit more. But the shape, overall, I've never been an 85 cut person. So that's just me. That's my opinion with that. And that's the beautiful thing about being a sneakerhead. Like, you don't have to like what everyone likes.
Exactly.
You can like what you like, and it's okay to be different.
Yep.
Besides those two, I have these. I don't know if you saw Jeff Staple did a collaboration with Brooks.
I love it. I actually saw it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I
So
love that pair.
I haven't worn that because I got him to sign that pair, and I'm just like, I'm in this mode of like, do I wear a shoe that I got signed?
Right.
Like, because I still want to wear the shoe. It's a great shoe.
Right.
But I don't want to. It's like the mindset of like, I'm somewhat like a reseller and a sneaker.
I think it's a collector mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a collector.
Not a reseller, it's a collector mindset. And that goes back to my childhood. I never really got anything like handed down to me in sense of like my parents weren't collectors of anything, right? So I've always wanted to have this mindset, like I want to be able to give my kid like things that I collected. Like you have signed jerseys and stuff like that.
Yep.
And anything that you do collect. I used to like you being a 92 baby. You I'm sure you know about like the Pokemon cards, the Yu-Gi-Oh cards,
Of course.
all the Toys R Us exclusive stuff that used to come out.
Yep.
I had all of that stuff, but on my move to Philly, like I lost all of it as a kid. Yeah. So now I've just been stocking up on so many random trinkets that I appreciate, that I hope my kid will also like sometime in the future. And if she doesn't like it, at least it's like an investment that she can utilize to like further progress herself in life, you know? Like I look at shoes as investments. I love them, but they are something that if I need a quick buck, that's something that can always move, right? Like I have a love for shoes, but I can always let something go if I need to let it go. Right.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And that's totally how I feel too. Like it really is. Yeah, it's the problem with I think one of the things that makes collecting so appealing is because you enjoy it, but also there is that monetary aspect to it. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it even harder to get rid of the stuff you don't want to get rid of.
Especially nowadays, because everything is like a collector's item now.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything is a collector's item now. The reason social media is so progressive is because anything can come out and the storytelling and the way you roll out a product. Like literally just this cup.
Yep.
If the right person's holding it,
Yes.
and the right person talks about it,
Yep.
everyone will want this cup.
Yep.
Like look at the brick by bricks, right? A lot of people did not like them at first,
Yep.
but I feel like putting Nigel Sylvester in front of that campaign and the way they rolled out that campaign,
Yep.
it got me because I didn't want them at first.
Yeah, me neither.
But once I saw the rollout, I was just like, damn, I could resonate with this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, let me just get this pair, and that's how everything is these days.
Yep.
Now they're tying everything back into nostalgia. I'm
here
gonna
for
say that until my face is turned blue because I think we're in a really good time, but these brands are definitely taking advantage of us.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like we need some royalties because we're the reason the nostalgia is so big. Our time in history is just like forever stamped with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. Going back to like the Pokemon cards, like they're having a renaissance right now. Like in 2020, people were buying sneakers and Pokemon cards. Like,
Bro.
retro games. I'm huge into retro games right now.
Yeah.
Like N64. I played a
yeah.
little bit of SNES at some friends' houses who had it. Like that sort of stuff. I've just been crazy into. That's why I think Whatnot is so big right now because you got the
Yeah,
baseball card
that is
collectors,
true.
like all that sort of stuff.
I have yet to go on Whatnot because I feel like I'm going to end up spending so
No,
much
you
money.
should. Yeah, I was just talking. Shout out to Matthew behind the camera, but we were talking this morning about Whatnot and how he had to delete it off his phone because
Yeah, it's dangerous.
It's
It's
so dangerous.
dangerous,
Because it's
bro.
not like eBay. Like eBay, you're like there is that element of like, okay, I want to get this before the auction ends. But
Yeah.
Whatnot, you got someone being like, yo, check this out. Oh, someone else is bidding. You should go for it.
Yeah, like somebody is like 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Bid on this.
Exactly.
And it's just like
Y'all
that
trying
thrill,
to
that
it.
rush.
Exactly.
Like, all right, cool. I'll just put a number. I'm going to get outbid. And then you don't get outbid. And there it is.
Bro. Yeah.
Like look at the Labubu craze right now.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
insane. And
I don't even get it, man.
Yeah,
But I didn't get. What I'm trying to think of what I didn't. I guess I understand collectibles. So I get it. I guess I do get it. That's a lot.
yeah, and I was gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna get into Labubus, and then they did a One Piece collaboration, and I'm just like, okay,
yep.
you guys just know what you're doing, and it's fine. I'm gonna get caught up in this, and then I just always just tell myself, you know what? And I didn't even open them.
Really?
I got a case of them. They're sitting right in my office right now, and I'm like, okay, do I open them and
Right.
just like appreciate them for what they are,
Right.
or do I just keep them in the box and now become a collector of just this,
Yup.
and it just goes to that pile of things I have
gosh.
not yet opened. Like prime example, I still have the first off-white rug
That is
from
a fire
Virgil.
rug though.
Yeah, unopened.
Is it the grass one or is it the
no,
white one?
no, it's the navy one that was at IKEA. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, double wrapped. It's just
Wow.
displayed in my office. I have yet to open it.
Oh my gosh.
Because when I camped out for it, I didn't have the space for it at the time.
Right.
That rug was huge. And then it got to the point where I was like, I might as well just keep this thing wrapped up.
Yeah.
You know? And RIP to Virgil, and I am sorry in advance, but like there were times where people would be like, bro, like, why don't you just open the rug? And I would say like, bro, at some point he's gonna die.
Yeah. That's true. No, it's true. Yeah.
Like, and it's a crazy thing to say out loud, and I really feel bad because like it got to the point where I was like, damn, did I manifest this guy's death? Like, did I do that to myself?
Right.
But and I could have sold it because it spiked after
sure.
his death.
I'm sure.
It was like damn near like 15, 20 bands for that one rug, and
Because it was new.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh,
And
that's
I
so
didn't
crazy.
sell it because I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna be that guy to sell it just because of his passing.
Right, right.
And I just continued to hold on to it, and even though I have a bigger space now,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone kept telling me to just open it, I was just like, at this point, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, now it's just like a piece of history.
Totally.
That like can end up in a museum, not mine specifically, but like something
Yeah.
like that can end up in a museum, and I just appreciate everything that Virgil has done for our culture.
Totally,
And it's
totally.
something that like I just don't even want to open. I just get to look at it and just accept the fact that that's a memory in time that just stays still.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Absolutely.
for sure.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Do you remember when going back to sort of not to get in the dark territory, but like when Kobe passed and all the Kobes were going crazy? Like
Bro.
one day it's gonna happen to Michael, like you were
Yeah,
saying, and that's
yeah.
gonna be
that. I don't even
I don't
know
know.
what. So I feel like when Michael passes,
Mm-hmm.
there's just too many shoes. There's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many retros. There's so many. Like obviously the OGs are gonna like go crazy in terms
Right.
of resale.
Right.
But I feel like obviously when it happens, we're in 2025 now, right? And we have a really good lineup of OG colorways coming out now. So that could be a good selling point for somebody. Like I have the 2025 version that is modeled after all of the OG pairs, right? Because this is the closest that Jordan Brand has gotten to all of the OG mock-ups for everything that has been coming out.
Right.
But I feel like there's just way too many Jordans for like it to even like cause a blip in the resale if he does pass.
Right.
That's just my thought process. But I might just be completely wrong. Like every shoe might go crazy, and RIP to Kobe.
No, for sure.
That was
awful.
Yeah.
That was, dude, he literally was one of those players. I mean, whether you're a Kobe fan or not growing up, you knew who he was.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
respected his game. Like, even if you weren't, like, even if you're a Celtics fan or, you know, anyone who played against him, like,
you just respected his hustle.
Exactly.
That's it. You respected his
Exactly.
mentality, and you respected who he was as an individual because he just brought so much effort into what he loved.
Totally.
Literally.
Totally. Yeah.
I still remember I took my nephew to the game here
wow.
in Philly. It was Sixers versus Lakers.
Wow.
The day before he died. And that was the same day that LeBron passed him in a specific I forgot what it was.
Wow.
But like he passed Kobe, and then we got the news, and I was like, yo. Like I overthink things like Final Destination type, and I'm like, did LeBron passing him was that Kobe passing the torch down, and he was just like, you got this, you know? And RIP to that entire family and everything that they've been through. And I like the fact that Nike decided to come back out with Kobe's,
Right.
even though like the resale is still ridiculous on some pairs.
Right.
But that's just justifiable.
Totally.
It's something that we just have to accept in this world.
Totally.
But
and like his family's getting the profit from it, the revenue from it, so they're still. I mean, they were probably able to live fine before that, but they're able to still, you know, benefit from it in some way. Obviously, it's not going to bring him back or anything, but it doesn't. You know, it's a nice. It's something else. And I heard that he was supposed to leave and then create his own brand or something. That was his like next step, which I would have loved to have seen what they.
That would have been crazy if he had his own brand.
Yeah.
I feel like he already had such a giant community.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Like Nike would have lost heavily on something like that if he were to just pivot off of Nike and do his own thing.
Yep.
That would have been insane to see. Like that would have created a market shift.
Totally.
Honestly.
Totally.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Kyries? Like, how do you feel about the new Kyries?
Oh, like it's like a bunch of laces, right? It's like a casual shoe. I like it. It reminds me because he had a shoe like that before, right? With like a bunch of tassels.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think he
Concepts
did.
collab, was
Yeah,
it? Okay.
I think it was the Concepts collab. I like the shoe. Honestly, I've never really been like a basketball style shoe wearer.
Yeah.
Obviously, back in like 2016 with the All-Star
just
pack,
it.
that was just like. But now I'm not lacing because I think personally, Jordan's like 1 through like 11. I think those are more lifestyle and not necessarily like basketball focused shoes. So I like the fact that Kyrie has like a lifestyle shoe and it's not like a basketball shoe. Yeah, because anything after the 11 for me is like too much basketball. Like, it's hard to make it more lifestyle, and I'm not a hooper. That's just not who I am. So like I used to love 12s and 13s, but then I just felt like I was gonna go hoop anytime I wore them. And so like it was hard for me to really get back. That's why I didn't get the Flu Games again, even though that's a great pair. It's an amazing storytelling pair, but there were so many pairs I had to pass on because I was like, all right, cool. You're just getting me for the nostalgia. I don't need every single pair. Like the KD4 Galaxy.
Same.
I bought that pair and it felt good to have them in hand, and then I looked at them and I was like, I'm not gonna wear these.
Exactly.
Like I'm not gonna wear these at all.
Yep.
So I had to just give them up to somebody to a new home that really wanted the pair. And that's also another beautiful thing about the sneaker world is like it's okay to let go of some things.
Totally.
Like it's very okay to let go of things and just give them to people that will actually appreciate the shoe instead of just like hoarding onto it.
Right.
But in terms of Kyrie, I love that style and aesthetic. It's very much with the times that we're in now. Like things are like overdone in a tasteful way.
Yes.
Like
I agree.
Like in our time, you wouldn't see a shoe with that many laces,
No,
and it
no
wouldn't
way.
work at all.
Yep.
But now we're in a time where something like that works, where fashion is so diverse. Like you can come out of the house with something like that and be acknowledged as like, okay, you're doing something with that outfit. It works.
Right.
So kudos to Kyrie on that shoe. I know it's doing really well.
That's awesome.
For sure.
That's awesome, man. How you feel about not to go into another brand, but how do you feel about Skylark, Justin Bieber's stuff? Have you seen any of it?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay. So Justin Bieber is apparently sooner than later dropping some new, like a whole new brand called Skylark, which is, he had his other brand. I forget what it was called. Drew. He had Drew House. He left Drew House apparently because his reason was they were too in it for the money or something. I'm not too familiar with the story, but that's what he said. Okay. And now he's basically doing essentially what Kanye had done, creating his own footwear line and clothing line. I think initially he's launching some slides, some shoes, and some glasses, and maybe like a hoodie or something. Okay. But it looks wild.
Really? Now I have to check that out.
Yeah, you got it. It's wild.
I feel like Drew House was something that everyone got into at some point, and it was like really hard to get.
Yeah. I tried to get I tried to get my sister-in-law some Drew House. I couldn't.
Yeah, it was impossible to get.
Yeah, but, even for me, someone who I thought could get most stuff.
It was a very simplistic brand.
Exactly.
It was just like an iteration on the smiley face.
Yep.
And that was it. But I feel like that was like their selling point. Like everyone can relate to that smiley face.
Yep.
But I think Justin Bieber is very stylish, very, very much into fashion. And I think if it's anyone that's going to be putting out a brand like that, it's definitely him. And like, you know, more than anybody, the slide and clog game is just
that's it right now,
insane right now. People are just going for ease of comfort and just put on and go. Yep. Like that's simple. 100%. So I can easily see that being very successful for 100%. Justin Bieber. I'm glad he's good. I know he was having some health issues.
I don't know if those have been completely resolved. I feel like I don't know if it's the push he's been doing on social media. I don't know if it's totally promotional or if there is something else going on behind the scenes. Gotcha. I don't want to go into it too much because I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I will say that I think that the people who had some concerns probably still have concerns. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
But what he's creating looks amazing.
Yeah.
I will say.
For sure. What's a shoe that you're looking forward to most in 2025?
A lot of the stuff that I wanted is already out. Like I really wanted the ones. The fours, the Whitesman fours were big. I think moving forward, the shattered backboards. I wish I could have brought it, but it wasn't here yet. I'm getting a pair in literally as we're filming this. I wanted to show you so bad. I wanted to have it on the table and we could talk about it. But
we could have waited,
bro. I know.
That would have been nice to see for sure. I know.
Well, maybe, dude, stop by again sometime.
Yeah, like, of course.
We'll shop it up.
Of course.
That'd be great, dude. That'd be great to have you back on. Man.
Yeah, I would love to be back anytime you need me, bro.
Dude, definitely. I'm so down. Okay, but so shattered backboards are interesting. I want to see what the quality is like compared to the originals.
Yeah.
Undefeateds would be great to just have. There's I think the stuff that I'm most excited about is the stuff from the other brands, like the Skylarks or those New Balances, because as much as I love the retros and as much as I'm probably going to buy them over everything else, I just know what they're going to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? How about you? Anything in particular?
Just those undefeateds right now. Like that's the fact that that's a shoe that any of us knew we had no opportunity to even like think about getting.
Yep.
Because back in the day, you needed multiple loans.
Yes, dude, I know.
To even consider getting a shoe like that, right? So to think that Jordan Brand is bold enough to even bring something back like that is crazy. It also shows like how desperate they are.
100%.
Like kind of. So they're kind of showing their hand, and I hope that all the sneakerheads out there understand that while they are catering to our nostalgia and like our demographic, like they are showing their hand of like desperate, and we all just need to be paying attention to that part of it too, because that just means they're running out of ideas.
Yes.
And if they're running out of ideas, there's no innovation. If there's no innovation, there ain't nothing for you out there.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's why they're doubling back on opening the vault to all of these things.
Right. Like Tokyo 5s, undefeated.
Oh my God.
Galaxy
Tokyo
foams.
5s.
I know, that's crazy.
When I found out the Galaxy foams were only exclusive to All-Star Game, I was very, very disappointed. I was like, you guys had a chance to really feed the masses with a shoe that everyone wanted. Yeah. And you want to just make it difficult. Yep. Like there's no, like that's a shoe you overdo because it's gonna continue to sell out. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
I never understood that with Nike and Jordan Brand. Like you do the complete opposite, and it's like you like to piss us off.
Exactly. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's
like we already know we're not gonna get the undefeated fours.
Oh, exactly.
Like
even though there's supposed to be a wider release.
Yeah. It's not gonna be wide enough at all of a release. Do you see yourself being able to get an early pair of those?
No. Jordan Brand doesn't. They worked with me once this year for the bread ones. Shout out to them for that, by the way.
Oh, that's
my favorite shoe. That was great.
Nice.
But that's the first time since 2020 that they've because I used to go out to like all these events, and I think COVID had a lot to do with it too. But I used to go out to events. They used to seed me stuff, and then as PR teams, like I'm sure you've noticed it's with Foot Locker, like these big brands have a PR team for a year or two, then they switch, and then you don't know anybody from the team.
Yep.
And while I do know some people at Jordan Brand, a lot of them have either left or just were never sending me stuff to begin with. So like, I don't think I'll be able to get one. There are a couple stores. There's one store in particular, shout out to Takeout NY, that's friendly with me, but I don't think they're getting them. So I'm probably just going to have to pay the resale. But it's a shoe I got to have just for the video. Then we'll decide if it's worth what I paid for it.
I can see that. Yeah. It has to make sense. The ROI has to ROI. I feel that. Yeah,
bro, the amount of money I've spent in some shoes. Like, so when the Off-White UNCs came out, I was like, this video is going to pop. So like right when they had a shock drop on sneakers, I bought them from this dude that I had bought some stuff from in the past for like $2,000. And then I did a video. The video just completely bombed, which was shocking to me at the time. It's still shocking to me, actually. I don't know why it bombed so bad, but it bombed. I made like maybe $100 in the video, and then they dropped again like 2 weeks later, and the price just dropped to like $700. I'm like, bro.
So that was like a double L.
That was a double L for me, yeah, dude. If it had at least gotten close to making some of the money back, I would have been like, listen, now at least I get the shoe for a reasonable price.
Yeah,
but it didn't.
Yeah,
it didn't.
I remember when I got the Lost and Founds, I got them early off the shock drop, and at that time I was like, all right, let me experiment with YouTube, right? And I just did a simple ASMR unboxing.
That's dope.
25,000 views.
Wow.
Like literally spiked. And it was at that moment where I was like, okay, do I become this like sneaker like review unboxing YouTube page?
Right.
And then like I always thought back to you, I was like, do I try to compete with Seth on getting a shoe early to review before him to make sure that this is doing well? And I looked at it and I just continued to watch the views climb, and I was like, nah, I'm not about to be this guy. Like I can't, cause I love shoes, but I'm not going to try and put myself in a situation that I'm not like authentically, you know?
I understand. I do think though, one thing I feel like that a lot of people in the space of like, especially on YouTube, they always think that there is too crowded. But what I've noticed is that like, especially now when like a lot of the people who started either before me or around me are sort of slowing down, there's like all these new people coming in, and it's so different. Like you've got all the short form creators who are killing it. You've got Rami the Icon who's doing like sneaker buying and selling, and his videos just blowing past anything that I've ever had success wise. So like it's really interesting to see how much more room there is even in such a niche space. But as I mentioned before the podcast, like views and sneakers just aren't what they once were. And I think
at all.
Yeah.
And I think back then I didn't have the mindset that I'd have now where like I understand that it's not about like the content you're creating. It's about how genuine you can portray 100%. Yourself.
Yep.
And that's why it's such a wide net of just like, there's room for everyone because me and you can make the same exact review, but we're going to have different takes on it. We're going to have different mannerisms, excitement about like whatever we're talking about. And that's what separates every single one of us from the content that we do. And back then, like I didn't have that mindset. It was more so like, do I want to be this guy and spend money to get a shoe early and like chase this hype? And not saying you were chasing the hype at all.
No,
it's
but
more so
exactly
like that was like, that was your methodology. Like, all right, cool. I love shoes. I want to talk about it. And let's make sure that I can like be one of the first people to talk about it.
Totally.
But I was just like, I know it can get expensive, and I know it can get expensive. And sometimes you end up on the back end of not even getting your money back, like you just talked about. But I like the fact that you're able to do something like that and just like roll with the punches and just go right into the next one, because very easily can people just be like distraught and defeated by like your UNC1 situation, right? Like that's $2,000 on a shoe that you were hoping would, like, cool, you can spend $2,000 on a shoe, right? And if you didn't have the mindset to make money back, like, all right, cool, I just spent $2,000 on a shoe.
That was your plan all along. Like going into it, knowing that, like that definitely helps. Yeah,
exactly. But like when you're in the mindset of like, all right, cool, let me get this shoe so that I can create some content and hopefully make some money back off of it, that's when like it gets tricky. But you have a good mindset where it's like, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Like whatever happens, happens. And kudos to you for keeping that, because there's so many people out there that are like, yeah, I can't invest that much on something that's a possibility.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. And what I really miss is when sneaker YouTube was like, you could put out a video on any shoe, no matter when it released, and people would watch because they were into sneakers. I feel like that love is kind of, like we talked about earlier, it's all about the hype for some people now.
Yeah.
So you lose a lot of that. And I think that's where something like Pokemon cards, same thing with sneakers. Like for a while, like people were just in it because of the love of it. Now it's popping, and now all these people who maybe for the first like 8 years of doing it, they had 50,000 subscribers. Now they got 2 million because it's hyped right now.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing happened with sneakers. Like no one had 1 million subscribers until like Jacques Slade and Kais hit that number. And now there's like a bunch of people with 1 million subscribers, but the hype is gone. So like, for example, for me, I have 1.2 million subscribers, but I average like 30,000 to, in some good cases, like 100,000 views per video, which is good. But compared to the size of my channel, it doesn't look it's not as good of a percentage as it once was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I think engagement in general is just like at an all-time low.
Yeah.
With every social media platform. And I think it's because we're just being pumped.
Yes.
Like the doom scroll effect is dangerous.
It's crazy, man.
And we're just absorbing way more information than we should be on a daily basis.
I completely agree.
Like I'm at fault. Like I literally have the Instagram app on my dock.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like my first, and that's a problem that I've told myself I need to change.
Right.
And I haven't, because it is honestly addiction. Like,
it is.
Social media is something you can be addicted to.
Totally.
And it's just an unfortunate thing where it's hard. Like the retention time for the average individual has only shortened and shortened, like by the year.
Yep.
And I remember I posted a video and it said like my retention rate was like 0.04 of a second, and I'm just like,
so
I was
wild.
Like, so it's like not even playing. It's just like
they're just swiping through,
literally getting skipped, and it's it gets really crazy out there with social media.
Yeah.
But I think we both have a healthy mindset on
Yes.
how to move and navigate social media.
I'd like to think so, but I mean, I'm like you, man. Like I'm really, so in my head, I'd like to think that if I didn't do this for a living, I wouldn't have it.
Right.
But like, I know me, man. Like I'm just sitting there on social media all the time, just scrolling. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like it fills up when I should just be sitting, just in my own thoughts. I'm on social media.
Yeah, because it's now reflex.
Exactly.
Like literally.
Exactly.
You ever like that idea of like a ghost vibrate, like, because I'm sure your phone's on vibrate, right? Like it's literally like you don't even have your phone in the vicinity, but like you get this like ping in your mind that like you might have gotten a notification, or like something just went off, or like you missed a sneaker drop, and like you're grabbing your phone and there's literally nothing even there.
It's really sad.
Yeah. And then like once you have your phone in your hand, it's literally just like mechanics. Thumb swipe up, Instagram, scroll. Okay, I'm done on Instagram. Let's go to TikTok. Let's see what's over there. Scroll.
Yeah.
So it just, you fall down this endless loop of just absorbing so much information, and then you just wonder why you're so exhausted all the time.
Exactly. Dude.
Yeah.
That's such a good way of putting it, man. It's so, and I can't think of any like real way for me to solve this problem other than doing something drastic, like getting a second phone and only having social on my second phone. But then you run into the problem too, like, I mean, I don't keep anything from my wife, and I don't think I do anything. But like, you know, you fall in that trap of like, oh, maybe you follow someone on Instagram because you know no one's looking at that phone, and you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. Like this person, like, I'm not like hitting this person up or anything, but like maybe it's a creator who's a little bit too, you know, out there with themselves, and you're like, I don't need to be watching or looking at this. So like it adds a whole nother. There's so many layers.
Yeah, having a
so
second
nuanced.
phone in general is just like
Not a good call.
That's not a good call.
Not a good call.
All,
yeah,
man. That just raises so many red
know.
flags.
I know. I've thought about it a lot, especially with like doing phone reviews, but I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's worth it.
The only thing that could probably save us is if we just don't have a phone like of this caliber. We have to go back to the Nokias and the Boost Mobile.
Exactly,
we have to go back to that.
Yeah.
I heard Sidekick was thinking about coming back.
Oh, dude, I'd buy one of them in a heartbeat, bro.
In
that
a
was the
heartbeat. That was such a good era to have.
Man. It was.
But yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Honestly, social media in itself, and that's why I'm really happy that I've like taken this like pivot. Like I haven't posted in like 6 days.
That's
and
amazing.
it's just like.
And it sounds like not that long, but it is.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
in our space, that is like you can become no one in 6 days if you don't post. And people forget about you so fast on social media.
Yep.
So it feels good. It feels good to just like take a seat back and really just like understand who I am outside the app. That's something that Jerome always talks about. Like, who are you off of social media? Like, can you sustain your lifestyle if Instagram was to go away today, right? So he's the reason like I really dialed back and like really tried to isolate who I am as a photographer and like videographer firsthand, and like can I solidify jobs without my social presence?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm still very much able to do so. Like
Awesome.
I can network properly. I can reach out to clients. I have no problem cold calling people that need content, you know.
That's
like
awesome.
and being able to do UGC is also something that's very interesting because
Totally.
I don't have to promote it in a way where it's like on my feed, right? I don't need to rely on my numbers because the one thing I've realized, especially with this like decline in engagement, a lot of brands look at those numbers and that dictates whether you're going to get a follow-up or a second campaign. And it's not like we can do the greatest hook, the greatest video, and it could just be that we posted at the wrong time.
Exactly.
And that can tank so much. And I always find it so unfair that Instagram claims to be this app for creators, but especially when you do a paid partnership, it just like completely severs everything. The fact that they can dictate who can see your content is ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Ridiculous. And I know you probably deal with that all the time. Like you mentioned before, like you have 1.2 million subscribers. Why is it that you're not even hitting a single M, right, on certain videos?
Right.
And we can go on about this all day.
And it's interesting too, because like on the YouTube side, I think that at least in terms of me, like the content that I'm putting out, just in my head right now, it's just not resonating with people. And that's why it's not hitting the way. But then there are times where like I put out a video that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, and you think, okay, this is what's been working. This is, I think, a new thing that people will like, and then it just completely bombs. So like then it's like sometimes it's like, okay, well maybe it's the algorithm messing with me. But I do think a lot of times, specifically on YouTube, Instagram, I don't understand at all. Instagram, bro, like it's same thing with TikTok. I'm
there's nothing you have to give up on even trying to understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you just have to be at the mercy of the app. Unfortunately.
Totally.
And one thing you just said really resonates with me. It's just like you don't know, you don't understand the app, and there's so many people out there that are trying to like portray themselves as like, oh, this is how you hack the algorithm, and they're literally just trying to hack the algorithm by saying this is how you hack the algorithm. Like everyone became a teacher out of nowhere. Like because of COVID, everyone thought that like they can teach someone how to do something, and like that was another avenue I didn't want to tackle. Like everybody was like, yo, you should start doing like courses, and I was like, no, I'm not out here trying to like collect money from people and like create a course. Like, I'm not a teacher. I hated school myself. Like I hated school. So why would I even try to like, anytime somebody asks me something, I always give free game. That's like a portion on our podcast. And I never have an issue giving people advice and like not charging for it, because like I myself am not, I don't think I'm at a point where I can like charge people for what I do and like my knowledge, because there's so many people out there that do crazy work. And I always think I'm like bare minimum with like the level of surface like that I've scratched with like video editing and photography. I keep it very simple myself. And
it looks great though.
Yeah,
man.
and
that's
to some
thing. It
and
looks
that's
so good.
yeah, and that's the thing. People say it looks amazing and it looks great, and I appreciate that all the time. But I always know that there's somebody out there that like is doing worlds better than I am, and it just tells me that like I just feel as though I can't just be out here charging people for like this kind of like teaching mentality. So I always just like to give people free game, and
That's
like
awesome.
if it helps, it helps.
That's
because
so awesome.
I'd rather just help somebody, and if it can get them to somewhere that they need to get to, cool. Say no more. Like that's like my one-off, like my good deed that
That's
I'm able to
awesome.
just like check off.
That's so awesome, because you have some knowledge. You have value. Everyone has valuable knowledge, and you in particular, especially with the size of your following and what you've done and the content that you created. You know things that other people don't. You know things that I don't know. You've learned. You've experienced things that I haven't experienced in terms of content creation. So you could give anybody advice, and it's really great that you're not. Because I think a lot of people, they maybe experience a little bit of success, and exactly what you said, they think that they can immediately charge for it. And it's like, I understand, and some people probably could, but I think for a majority of us, like it's just consistency and luck. You know what I mean? Like doing what you do in the way that you do it consistently, and then something just hits, and that's just all there is to it. Like there's always improvement, but you naturally improve on what you're working on if you keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like success is measured like through failure.
Exactly. Dude, such a good quote. Yeah, 100%. That's gonna be clipped. We're gonna clip that.
Easy. It's just I learned it firsthand. One thing with my family, majority women in my family, like not many successful relationships in my family, like growing up. And one thing I always taught myself was to like pay attention to the mistakes of my elders and like
That's good.
understand how I can navigate my life while understanding what they did wrong or what they thought they could have done right, and how I can like equate that to my life and how I can just have a better step and like understand, like kind of like my roadmap, understanding which way to pivot at the fork in the road, because they went that way.
Right.
I should go the other way because
Right.
I now understand that outcome because of the way that they went, and it was not the right decision.
That's good,
So
man.
yeah, just really paying attention to the older generation. And like when I got into photography, I surrounded myself around people that were already in the game. Like Jerome, he was doing photography for a while, and then like Bruce and everybody was older than me. So like I had the proper knowledge to absorb, but then like also incorporate like my own spin on everything.
Right.
So yeah, just like I said, like success is measured through failure, and I tell myself that all the time. Like you need to fail to like grow.
Right.
People are afraid to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, for sure. They want
Yeah.
everything, like the first thing they put out to be perfect, and it never is.
It never
is. Well, okay, speaking of that, sort of going in the same vein, if you had all the knowledge you have now, but you were starting from zero again, what would you do? Like how would you start? And it could be for any outcome. If say, whatever it is.
If I had all that knowledge that I have now and I started at zero, I think I would just be a lot more genuine from the rip.
That's awesome.
I think I would definitely delegate tasks a lot more.
That's awesome.
I've always been the person that I know I need a team, but I'm always very much the person that tries to not rely on people for
Right.
help.
Right.
So thankful for the like group of friends that I have now and that they're always willing to assist. But I would definitely be utilizing a team a lot more from the rip, and just being able to delegate tasks to grow at a faster rate.
Right.
In terms of the authenticity and being genuine. Like
Right.
I love seeing all of like these YouTube creators like create this team of friends.
Yeah.
That they're all coming up together and just like growing.
Yep.
So that's something I would definitely do. And honestly, just try to get in the forefront of like activations with like inner city stuff.
That's awesome.
Right.
I love that.
So me, Jerome, and my friend Ashley, we talked about how like these sneaker brands, like, like how the Jordan stores come into Philly,
Yeah,
right?
that's cool.
I think these brands don't have a proper understanding of like the who's who that's in the city,
Right.
that like they're doing these activations for. And you see all these like campaign events, and you'll start to be like, that dude doesn't even wear sneakers.
Yeah.
Like no offense to you, I'm happy that you got the opportunity, but what
Right.
are you doing here?
Right, exactly.
Like, it's one of those situations. So I would love to be in the forefront of just like making sure the people that need to be in the room are in the room.
Yep.
So that not only it makes sense for us, but also for the brand and for the city that you're representing, right?
That's so cool.
Like, yeah, being more so a moderator and like a creative director, like that's something I've always really wanted to like tap into. And my old boss at DTLR, he really motivated me to like really want to step into that realm because he did such an amazing job at it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I would definitely just start with a team from the rip.
Right.
And just really just hit the ground running with all the knowledge that I do have.
That's awesome, man.
How about
I love
you?
that. I don't know, man. Okay, so I guess if I was trying to get back to either where I'm at now or like a different avenue, I think within social media, because I think for me, I've always just loved social media. I think I would probably do that again if I was doing it. I think it would be, mine's probably not going to be as good of an answer as yours, man. I think it would be, I would do things similar. I think I would try and pick a niche that I'm still in, because I picked sneakers because I love sneakers.
Yeah.
But I always loved YouTube, and I've been doing YouTube for years. So I think I would have continued my love of sneakers and maybe still done content on sneakers on the side. But I think if I was trying to find a niche, it would be something a bit more with more staying power, like tech or cars or something like that.
Gotcha.
Not to say I wouldn't make sneaker content, because I think that's the reason that so many of these doors have been open, and that's still such a big part of my life.
That's
But
your core.
That's my core, exactly,
Yeah, for
exactly. I think maybe I would have leaned more into the design side. I don't know. But I would probably do the same sort of strategy where it's picking things that, for example, buying early sneakers was such a big part of it because it was people were searching for those shoes. So even if they didn't know me, they would find my video because I was one of the only results that came up. I would probably use the same strategy because I do think that's still a big part of it. But I would have leaned a lot more into short form when it started. Yeah. Because if I could have had a bigger short form following now, I think I could have been. It would have been another avenue. So like say, for example, if sneakers, I don't think my sneaker channel will die out, but like it would be another avenue that I could continue with sneakers in, which I'm trying to do now. But I think it would have opened some different doors and maybe changed my trajectory in a little way. But honestly, in terms of like, I'm really just happy right now in terms of how everything's going, like with my life and my family. And I don't think I need the social media following. I feel like it allowed me to get to a point now where I'm able to work, have a business, do what I love, not work a 9 to 5. And I think that's, so I don't know. I didn't really answer your question at all, but
you're happy with where you're at.
I'm happy with where I'm at. And I guess to get back to where I'm at,
yeah.
I'd probably use social again.
Yeah.
That's
for sure.
But yeah.
Thinking about it outside of social media, I think I'd probably more so go into like real estate.
That's
or
cool.
Something that's like
cool.
solidified.
Right.
Like my brother's an architect and
That's
he's designed so many properties here in Philadelphia, and it's just like to understand that like he was the reason something is created
right
in his like version of it is just like insane. So, and just the concept of being able to say like, okay, I have this many properties in the city, like, and at any point in time, it's just like that, like income of just like, you're set, you're good, that kind of situation, right? Totally. Being able to set up your next generation, right? Like where your kid's grown up, like, oh, you want the house in Fishtown? Like, all right, cool, it's yours. That's all that matters. That's and amazing. Like being able to own something like out of the country, being able to just pick up and go. Yeah. So maybe something like that is something I would have done different. Like that's if I really got into like real estate, but being able to like own property sounds nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Sweet, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. Where can they find you?
At ImIllVibe across all social media platforms, you can find me. And if you go to Baby's Cucina, you'll probably see me making your matcha. So let's go. Pull up. I'm always a very humble person when you talk to me. And don't be afraid. Oh, one thing, do not be afraid of like social media numbers. Like people, I feel like are afraid to talk to people because they see a big number on their social media. That number is irrelevant.
It's a vanity metric. It doesn't matter at all.
Exactly. So, dude, I appreciate you. Dude, thank you for having me. Anytime, it was an amazing experience, and I can come back whenever you need me, bro.
I would love you to come back all the time, man.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Sure.
Dude, I'll have you in. I'll bring in some early sneakers next time.
Yeah, that'll be tough. That'll be tough. We could do like a top 5.
I'd love to.
We could do like a collection talk.
That would be sick, man. Yeah. That'd be awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much. Now, for those of you watching on YouTube, you're in for a special treat. We're going to do some sock shopping with Luis, where he gets to go around the office and pick out whatever socks you want, whatever stuff you want. For everyone else watching on YouTube or listening on YouTube and Spotify and Apple, thank you so much. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Have a good one.
Sweet, man.
Solid.
All right, so now it's time for Luis to go around, pick out some socks. You can grab whatever you want, man. Just fill up the bag, dude. I can show you where the stuff is. We got mids here.
Please. Okay, we got the mids. Oh, first thing I want to do is, what's the smallest size your socks are? Because my girl needs some new socks.
Oh, we got smalls.
Yeah, we got smalls. All right, let's get some smalls and like
so we got
simple
some smalls.
colors.
Oh, let's go. So these are all the crews. The smalls are on the bottom. Grab a couple of these, Johns. Whatever's in stock. Oh, no, these are XL. No, some smalls. Well, they'll say S on them.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. So we got like all the different
Do you have
tones.
mids and smalls? No?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
It's all good.
I'll double check. Let me check the website.
Yeah, it's all good. No, you're good. You're good. Let's see. Got a shot for the baby, you know?
Oh, true. Yeah, we do have some. They'll be in the far corner right over there.
Baby socks?
We may be out of infant grip. But we have a few. Oh, no, you got some. There we go. There we go. Let's do it.
That's tough.
We also got, do you and your girl like no-shows? Is your girl like no-shows? We got no-shows and smalls.
Yeah, she's definitely a no-show rocker. I'm going to see. Cool. She got small feet. Let's see if she could rock this.
She actually probably could, yeah. Here's some no-shows for you. Oh, we do actually. Yeah, we have. So these are the logo mids. You grab some of those, Johns. We got gray. I think we're out of white and black. These ones we're actually phasing out, so these ones we might not have them anymore of. So I would grab some.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Yeah, she needs help with her socks, bro.
Let's go.
I can't be the only one
with the good sock game, bro.
With the good socks.
We got some limited collections here. We got the race inspired collection we just dropped, like F1 Motorsport. We got Nathan Walker, who's a collab designer we worked with, an artist we worked with. We got Amber Vittoria, another
I feel
designer.
like you did something with her.
We've done a couple of
before,
things. You
right?
might have even been in
Yeah,
some
yeah.
shoots for her stuff before,
Yeah,
I think,
for
too.
Sure.
We got
Let's
the Easter, we got floral, we got some sneaker-inspired ones down there. All sorts of stuff, man. Oh, we still got some Marissa Hills in the Sangria colorway, the Slouch Boys. They're pretty nice.
Oh yeah, the slouch socks.
Yeah. We're sold out of white and black, but we have
no,
those.
this red is clean.
Let's go. If you want shirts too, we got shirts.
Do you still have the micro logos?
No, we're sold out of those.
Ah, pain.
I know,
That's
bro.
like a staple,
I
like
know,
simple
bro.
tee.
We're literally right in the middle, like ordering those. So we do have these. We got, I don't know what size we got left of these, but we got like the university tees.
Oh yeah.
We only have XL. I'm embarrassed. We only have some.
No, it's okay.
small
I
sizes.
always crop.
Oh, dope.
I always crop.
Let's
tees.
go. Let's go. Those ones are, those are long sleeves. So we got long sleeves, green work tees, workwear tees.
bet.
We got some graphic tees.
Let's run
Yeah,
one
man,
of
grab one of those
these.
Johns. Yes, sir.
I saw you
Sweet.
wearing a work shirt.
Oh yeah, it's right here. It
at
just dropped.
Babies.
It just dropped.
Is this?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, grab one.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. That's exact. I wear a large in those. I love them.
Yeah,
They're
let me
sick.
try one on. Real
Yeah,
quick.
try it out. That's actually one of my favorite
That
things
was
we ever
that was
dropped.
clean when
Bro.
I seen you come to the babies with that.
That was one of the things I was talking about where like I didn't know we were making it. I came into the office and Josh Melling like, do you see this yet? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Bro, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
This is tough.
I love it. It's literally one of my
The
favorite things we've
snap
ever made.
buttons.
Bro, it's next level.
Yeah.
It is next level. Whoo! Look at that.
Okay. Yep.
Look at that. Let's
We're
go.
We're
Let's
good.
go. It's like you got some modeling experience.
Oh, you already know, man. You already know. Thank
Let's
you
go,
for
man.
sure.
Definitely.
Yo, there's this one sock.
Okay.
It's like a muted brown, and you had the script going in the front of it. It's an old sock, but it's
may be
literally
out of
the
it.
one I wear the most. Like it's
Okay.
literally my favorite. It's like
Oh, I know which. Yeah, it's a super
it's like a
old one.
mauve.
Yeah. I love
light
that one.
brown. It's
The
such a.
script level. I
We
know.
need to bring that back.
I completely
We
agree,
need
man.
to
I love
bring
that
that
one.
back.
That's my wife's favorite color. That mauve, sort of like brownish color. She loves it, like the pinkish brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm very much just like a simple color sock, dude.
Let's go.
Let's see. I see.
Oh yeah,
are
grab
these-
some mids too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, these are mids.
These are all
Hell
mids.
yeah.
Yep.
Mids
all,
are my favorite, especially for the summertime. That's
For
what
sure.
you got on now, right?
Yes, sir. I got the tan or
Yeah.
either the ochre or the sand. I'm not sure. Dude, the sand and the ochre are pretty similar colors, so I'm not sure which one I got. Oh, these are
These
ankles.
are lows.
So we got
Oh,
ankles
okay.
and we got mids.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
ankles are good too. Yeah. So we got a bunch of different mid colors. I think we are out of white black, but you did get a gray of the
Yeah, we're good.
ankle
we're
logos.
good.
But yeah, man.
Nah, these are super clean.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. They would go with what are those? So more the shoes you rocking? They're more of a purplish.
Yeah, it's like a
That's crazy.
mauve purple. I got the
Hey, yo, let's go, bro.
always,
Let's
bro.
go.
I remember doing this shoot in Osmond's spot. That
That's
was
sick.
a sick shoot with Adrian.
Dude, yeah, let's go. Shout out to Adrian, man. Also, shout out to Osman, dude. We gotta have him back on the podcast.
Yeah,
whenever he's-
soon enough. Soon enough.
Whenever he's
This
good to
is a
go.
Clean colorway.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
I think I'm good, bro.
Dope.
Oh, yo, that golf collab.
Dude, just
like,
grab the ones on. Are you good with the ones on the table?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
that's.
Let me grab those
hell
ones for
yeah,
you.
That was fire.
Yeah. Yeah, man, these came out so good. We use these for the photos. That's why they're on the table. So these are the ones that are gonna be on the website. These exact ones.
Say no more.
But yes, sir, man.
We're kind of stacked up.
Let's
here.
go, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Nah, appreciate
Thank
you
you so
always.
much.
Thank you.